Why, hello, students. Today we are here to talk about genetic diversity. That's right, Carl. As you can see by our fancy hair and ties, we know what we are talking about. Damn it, Frank. Not again. What are you talking about? You always do this. And what would that be? Can we please just move on? That's fine by me. I'm just here to educate the students. I'm honestly just glad that there are so many white people in here. It makes me feel at home. I don't have to feel embarrassed about being genetically superior to any African Americans, Asians, or Mexicans. What are you even talking about? You know what I'm talking about. We're a different race. Obviously, we're superior. Damn it, Frank. Have you been watching Fox News again? Well, yeah, but what does that matter? To start, you're watching Fox News again. Apart from that, do you even understand what it means to be genetically different? Of course I do. They have different skin colors, funny shaped eyes, and other stuff that normal people don't have. I should really hit you with a biology book, but instead, I'll explain it to you. Let's start with something you might understand. The definition of a species. Whoa, do you mean that we are a different species? Why don't you tell me, if you had a child with an Asian, for example, could that child go on to have a child with someone in your family? Ew, don't be disgusting. Yes, of course, but that's another matter entirely. Answer the question, please. Well, I guess wait, of course they would. They would have my genes. And there we have it. You've defeated your whole argument. What do you mean? According to pretty much any biology book or website such as biologyonline.org, a species is the lowest taxonomic rank and most basic unit or category of biological classification. It could be further defined as an individual belonging to a group of organisms having common characteristics and usually are capable of mating with one another to produce fertile offspring. Yes, I see. A race or subspecies is defined as populations of a single species that have diverged from each other. However, biologists do not agree on the definition of race for a variety of reasons. But you just proved me right. I'm not as dark as them, and I don't act like them. Therefore, I must be a different species. I shall call it Frankillus awesomeness. Okay, Frank, you still aren't understanding. There are plenty of people out there who act like people from other cultures, just like Justin Bieber acting like the stereotypical black man. There are also plenty of people out there who tan. Does this mean that they change their race over time? Absolutely not. Melanin is what controls skin tone, not species or race. The more sun exposure you get, the more melanin is produced, darkening your skin tone. Then why are Africans born black? For the same reason that you were born white. Over time, your DNA and your parents' DNA adapted because of a mutation that was successful. The first generation survived with less melanin, so it passed that trait on to the second and the third. There are light-skinned African Americans, light-skinned Latinos, and light-skinned Asians, but there are also dark African Americans, dark Latinos, and dark Asians, simply because their DNA or sun exposure levels vary. Well, I see your point, but why are tree frogs that are different colors classified as different species then? That's because speciation has occurred. In other words, they've evolved from the same point, but they are no longer the same species. An example of this would be our ascension alongside apes from the common ancestor we both shared, all the way from Homo erectus to Homo sapien. Oh, you're one of those. You think we came from the apes. Well, if we're such a different species, then surely Africans must be a different species as well. I've heard that Kenyans share a similar leg muscle to that of an ape. Explain that, you Darwinists. We're mammals. We share a lot of different things with other mammals because we came from the same common ancestor. Did you know that bats and manatees have the same bone structure that we have in our arms, in their wings, and their flippers respectively? Did you also know that we have tails when we're developing? Or how about the fact that we have gills that turn into our inner ears? That is such a lot. I have never heard. Regardless of if you've heard it, it's a fact. And if you can produce reproductively viable offspring, you're still in the same species. And as I said before, race isn't used to classify from a biological standpoint.
created using Powtoon.